You're up. So in today's video, what I want to do is I want to show you how to hack WordPress. Now, this video is not only limited to WordPress, it basically, the knowledge that I'll share with you today is useful for any website, to be honest. So any other CMS, so like Joomla, Drupal, or any other, or even against standard non-CMS websites, this knowledge can be useful and it will be very, very important, especially if you're a cybersecurity beginner or a beginner to ethical hacking. Right, so usually the first thing that you want to do is you want to really find out what you're going against. So in this basically scenario, we're going against WordPress, but you should really do recon against every website they come across, right? So one basically very, very important extension is Wapalizer. I recommend downloading this extension. It's absolutely free. You don't really need to buy the subscription. I know there is a subscription, but I don't recommend getting it. It shows you the CMS. So content management system is basically WordPress, right? It is important. See, the CMS is basically, it's like a system. And this system is responsible for the whole website. So WordPress is written in PHP, as you can see here, actually tells you PHP programming language, which is also very important to know. And the first thing that you should do is take some take some information from this. So you should take them that this website is WordPress, right? Or the CMS is WordPress. The programming language, which you can check, so not really, I would say it's important, but not really, because you can always check it on the internet what programming language is, for example, Joomla written in. Another thing is it's an operating system, which is not always, I would say, accurate, because you would have to really check by yourself to make sure, but it is Debian. In fact, this is correct, it is Debian Linux. Database also important, and some other things. Now, the first thing that you should always do is note down what it is you're going against, so in this case WordPress, and the version. The version is important because if something's outdated, and trust me, there's millions of outdated websites, especially WordPress, because people forget to put automatic updates for everything, especially the non-technical people. You can basically, if you find like an outdated version, like if you find something 5.00, 6.00, there could be a critical vulnerability that allows you to exploit something straight away. So you should always just check these things, right? And write them down on a notepad or something. Like let's say WordPress 6.71, PHP 8.2.26, MySQL XXX, what is there other, Debian, something. You should always note this down. And the second thing you should do is head to Google. So you should write down is WordPress 6.71 vulnerabilities. Now it is in Arabic, unfortunately, sorry, because so as you can see, there is some exploit. Now there is not a lot of exploits because 6.71 is the most latest version of WordPress. But as you can see, there is some exploit. Now, you really need to read what it says here. So it says newspaper WordPress theme exploit. I don't have a newspaper theme, so I can't use this exploit. But if you would have a newspaper theme, you should use it and exploit it, right? So it is important that you check, and also check how it works. What does it do? The reason you want to check is just in case if you're running like a pen test or something, you don't want to cause damage to a website or make it unusable or delete some system files, right? So make sure that whatever you're doing is you don't delete or cause damage. Make sure you do this, right? Right, so just before I head to the next step, I want to show you how to enumerate the whole website using wpscan, which is a based tool for WordPress that allows you to enumerate the whole website, and it's actually awesome at what it's supposed to do. So if you use wpscan, it is installed on Kali by default. You use the domain or the address or whatever you have. In this case, it's because it's a virtual machine. I use an IP address, but you can use your domain or whatever you really have. And if you use the E flag with these 3 flags, what I'll do is I will enumerate everything, right? So let me just actually run this, and as you can see in a second, it's going to find a lot of information. So one of the things, as you can see, it tells you XML RPC is enabled, which can be also exploited. I'm not going to show you in this video because there's plenty of tutorials. That's just for me, it's pointless for me to show you this, but there's so many videos about it. If you guys really want me to, I'll make a video about it, right? It shows you the WordPress version, which is extremely very, very good, because sometimes it doesn't show you on Wapalizer. You have to go and look for yourself sometimes, right? WordPress theme, as you can see, it tells you WordPress theme menus 2017, and it shows you the location. So if there's a theme that you can find or you can really list the theme, it shows you here. It should at least show you. And it shows you plugins also. It is an API token. Now, I do recommend getting the API token. It's absolutely free. All you have to do is just register at this website, wpscan.com, and just register. And wpscan is extremely working well with the API token. Another one of my favorite ways, and this is useful if you can't really access your PC and if you're on your phone and you want to see like if WordPress is installed. So what you need to do is just put / and type in wp admin, right? Or wp content, right? And it basically based on the response, you should be able to determine if WordPress is installed. For example, wp content, if it comes blank, that means there's WordPress installed. If you come to wp admin and it shows you a login page, obviously this tells you that WordPress is installed. A sort of basic way, but this is one of the fastest way to determine if WordPress is installed, right? As long as they haven't changed the login URL. Now, the first sort of point of attacking WordPress is I want to show you user enumeration, and this makes it so much faster if the developers or whoever's responsible for the website hasn't turned it off. So what you usually get on your default, if you don't have any plugins like security plugins, what you get is you can enumerate users with WordPress login page. So let me just put a random user. Let's say I have a user administrator and I put a random password in. And based on this, response, you can say the username administrator is not registered on this site, which straight away tells us that obviously the administrator is not in a database, right? So okay, let's try another user. Let's try super user 12345. And as you can see straight away, the password you entered for the username super user is incorrect. Now, obviously you can automate this. You can use FUF to basically speed this up and do it for you. So basically the point of this is just to see if we can enumerate quickly any users, right? Because obviously it'll be faster to automate, but for example, if there's a proxy or Cloudflare, it might not always be possible. So sometimes it is useful just to know how to do it manually, right? So let's actually try to brute force the password of this super user, right? So what we can do for this situation is we can use a tool called wpscan, WordPress scan. Now this tool is extremely simple to use and it's basically based for WordPress, right? So if you just type in sudo apt install wpscan, what this will do is it's actually already installed by default on Kali, but if you don't have it, just type in sudo apt install wpscan and it'll install it for you. And if you type in wpscan h, which is just a help menu, it will show you all the flags, right? But we're not really interested in this because I'm just going to use specific ones. So we're going to use is wpscan and we're going to use URL and we're just going to specify the IP address. And what we're going to specify is a user, which is super user, and we're going to specify a word list. In this situation, we're going to use RockQ and because it's the biggest one, and let's see how fast I can crack it. So I'm going to press enter. And what it's going to do right now is going to run a basically dictionary attack, right? So I'll just leave this running for you and you're going to see how fast basically it will take for wpscan to crack this. So let's get back to it in about a minute. Right, so it took 36 seconds and it has made 5,000 requests. So in 35 seconds, it has made 5,000 requests, which is technically fast, but this is obviously remember but that this is a local host or a local connection, so it doesn't have to travel far or it doesn't have to travel across the internet to find the password, right? So we have found the username, which is we already knew the username, but we have found the password, which is speaker. So let's try these credentials. And what we should be able to do, as you can see, we have managed to basically log in to the website. So this is how easily you can basically brute force a password, and it's fast. Now, once you manage to crack the password and log in, what you should do is you should check your permissions. One of the best things that you can do is come to basically appearance and themes. Now, if there's a theme called 2017, you're basically golden. If not, what you can do, if you have enough permissions, what you should be able to do you should be able to download it, right, and install it and activate it. Now, I just wanted to add that this reverse shell or remote code execution or whatever you're trying to really do will work with any theme, but what you're looking for is a theme that allows you to edit file editor. So as you can see, I have 2025 activated and there's no such thing as theme file editor, but if I activate Envo1, and there's a theme file editor. So this is what you're looking for. So just if you don't have it on your current theme, just switch to some random ones or install from the library and just play around, and then you should be able to get the PHP files, right? Because the main target is PHP files, because you cannot execute a remote code execution in a HTML file or a TXT file. Come to themes, activate it, and what you can do is you should be able to click theme file editor. Now from here, it is very simple. Come to 404 PHP, which is just basically the best file that you can really use for this. And to get remote code execution, all you need to do is just paste this little script, right? Paste this. Okay, now update the file. And now what you need to do is you need to navigate to this file. So in my case, the file or the path would be something like this. Let me just change this. There we go. Okay, and if you put $=0 ID, what I should do, as you can see, it has managed to give us basically the user, right? Alright, so that'll be it for this video. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, comment, and please don't forget to also check my other videos, which should be somewhere on the screen. If not, then go to my playlist.